What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode here at Left Lane Diesels. I hope everyone's having an awesome freaking day out there. Today in Michigan, it's like 30 degrees out again. It's snowing. Luckily, the sun out, the wind's not too bad. Today, we have the Cummins 12 valve in the shop. Lately, the 12 valve's been having some issues starting up in the cold, so I'm going to hopefully try to figure out exactly what's going on with that, why it's having issues. We're going to look at some of the relays and stuff, the heater, intake heater grid there. So we're going to look into a little bit of that. We also have a lot of maintenance items. The 12 valve video, the $1,000 12 valve video took off, so I'm hoping that a lot of you guys are enjoying the content I'm going to be putting out for the 12 valve. Like I said, we got to do some regular maintenance stuff. We got oil change on it. We got to do the fuel filters, pre-filter. We're going to get rid of the fuel heater. We're going to do the killer dowel pin. We got a whole bunch of lists of upgrades and stuff to do, maintenance items on the 12 valve so that it can be nice and reliable for us so I can get that awesome MPG that I've been getting and not worry about a thing going down the road. So first things first, we got to start off with a modification that I've already done off camera. I got to give a shout out to someone out there. So let's get into it. My boy with the hookup on the exhaust tip, 4 to 5 inch, Cameron at TNA Diesel out of Marshall, Michigan. Yes, it's a free tip. Yes, it is dirty, but it's okay because it fits well with the nasty 12 valve. So thank you again, Cameron, for the hookup on the tip. Like I said, 4 to 5 inch. It's chrome, looks decent. I want to say it's like the perfect size for the 12 valve. Look at that. It looks good. Fits nicely. So let's hop in the truck here. We're going to see if this thing will fire up for us. Hopefully we can get this thing started up so we can spin it around. Here with the new exhaust tip as well. Turn the key on. Like I said, it's about 20-30 degrees outside. See how she does. One more time. See, I feel like I used to be able to hear the relays click for the intake heater, so I'm thinking that's probably where I'm going to start. We'll give it one more. I feel like that time I thought I heard them maybe. Battery voltage is right where it should be. Yeah. Smoky. That's all right. We'll get her going. We'll get her going. I think maybe only even one might be just working or something. Try it again. Woo, she wants to go, boys. Smoky. About to fill up the barn. One more time. My goodness. There she goes. Let's get this thing out of the barn. Oh my word. can't see a thing. Woo! Get this thing outside before it smokes us out. Dogs are like, what in the world? Like I said, we're going to spin this thing around and back it in, but I think I'll let it warm up for a little bit here. Let the battery charge back up a little bit, so. Alright, so the last time I worked on this, I had issues with the intake heater grid not working. It was the wiring down here on our two relays down here. Let's take a peek here. Oh, yeah. See, and actually, this one here is actually busted off. See that? And then that one's good. And then you have your other relay right there with the other two little black pieces coming off of it as well. We're going to play with these a little bit and see if we can't get these to click. Maybe at least the one here, since those ones are still good. So let's play with that for a little bit. And then the other thing, I'm pretty sure I'm losing a little bit of prime, fuel prime, coming from the fuel heater. Which is right down here. You see it, that one, that right there. Pretty sure I'm losing a little bit of fuel prime coming from that electrical connector right there. Let's go ahead and unplug it, and I'll see if you guys can hear. You can actually hear the air. You can actually hear the air leak out, or leak in, I should say, when I unplug that connector. So hopefully the camera picks this up. We'll give it a shot here. Alright, so hopefully that picked that up. I just unplugged it, and you can actually hear it sit there go and kind of wheeze a little bit after I unplugged it. So that's a few things we're going to try to take care of tonight. See if we can't get this thing to fire up a little bit better. That connector is just absolutely covered in fuel too. It's just... So we're going to end up deleting that too. So first things first though, let's go turn the key on and see if we can't get our two intake heater relays down here to start clicking to come on. So let's do that first. Alright, so I found a wiring diagram on these two relays, and I was able to kind of rig up where these wires are supposed to go on the relay, and now they are actually working. You can hear them click. I'll go inside the cab here, show you guys. So let's watch our battery voltage right here. I'm going to turn the key on. Our wait to start light comes on, and our battery voltage is right around a little under 12 volts. And then as soon as our wait start light just went out, you saw my battery voltage come up. That tells me that the intake heater is working and the relay just clicked off, so we'll cycle it one more time. Everything turned off here. So the relay just clicked. Waits to start light's on, and as soon as you see that light go out, you'll see my battery voltage come up. Boom, and there goes my battery voltage. So that tells me my intake heaters are working properly now. Alright, so now that we have our intake heater relays working properly, we know that the truck's going to start good. The next thing I want to address that's kind of causing a hard start in the morning is actually the fuel heater there. I guess what happens is the connector heats up and it melts that plastic, and then you actually lose prime if the truck sits for more than a couple of days or overnight, because it sucks air in, which then drains the fuel back to the tank. So the next thing we're going to do is take care of that. We're actually going to just go ahead and remove it and delete that out of the system. It's really not as important as the intake heater. The fuel heater is more or less there just in case your fuel is gelled. Well, we're going to run additive if it ever gets to that temperature. So I think we're going to be okay to just go ahead and remove that. That way we don't have any prime issues in the future. So the other thing we're going to do while we're in there is go ahead and replace this pre-filter screen and O-ring. This just kind of seals the housing, and also, like I said, is a pre-filter before it actually gets to the fuel filter. So we're going to go ahead and replace that while we are in there. Alright, so you guys just watch me pull this off. What houses the pre-filter, that's what we're going to be going ahead and replacing, as well as that O-ring. The fuel heater element is still connected, it's still on there, and that's going to be the next piece that we pull off. You can see the steering harness is still attached to it right there, and so we're going to pull that out next. I believe we have to get a Allen head, so we'll figure out what size we need and then go ahead and pull that off next. So this is the fuel heater here. You will need a 5/16 inch Allen head to remove this piece. You stick it up in there and then you'll break that free, and then this whole piece comes off. And then now you can see pretty much this piece is what threads up into that housing. So now we can, after we replace our pre-filter, we can just take this housing and actually thread it straight up. So none of this will be going back in. We'll tape up the connector on the truck for the fuel heater, just so we don't have any weird issues happening there. And then this will be spare parts or junk. So let's get this filter changed out, and then we'll clean that up and get it back in. Alright, so we got that O-ring lubed up a little bit, and then we threaded it back onto the housing. We're going to crawl back underneath there and make sure that we have it tightened accordingly. That way we don't have any issues with leaking. So I found this whole process is for the best, for the most part, when it comes to breaking stuff loose and tightening it, to go from the bottom, and then when you're ready to remove things, come to the top and remove them from the top. So I'm going to crawl underneath, make sure it's nice and snug. Right now it's just hand tight. So we'll crawl underneath there and make sure it's snug. Alright, so it's threaded back in, and you can actually see right there that there is literally no gap. That's what you're going to want. You don't want a gap there, or else you will leak fuel. You can see our connector off to the left there. We're going to tape that up. Just throw some dielectric grease and then tape that up and move that out of the way. But the fuel heater is officially deleted. So our next thing on the list of things to complete on the 12 valve is going to be changing the fuel filter and also changing the oil and the oil filter as well. Just kind of regular maintenance items. I've been driving the truck for a little while now. I haven't changed the oil or the fuel filter since I bought the truck. So it's a good time to do it now since we're taking care of some other issues. So we're going to take care of that first here, and let's get it. So I got a whole box of goodies here. I ended up ordering a whole bunch of oil filters, standard oil filters, and standard Fleet Guard fuel filters for the truck, just because I figured I will be doing it. The fuel filters I plan on doing every 10,000 miles or every other oil change. So every 5,000 miles I hope to do an oil change. Maybe push it a little bit longer since the truck does have as many miles as it does. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and replace this fuel filter. We'll get this thing going, and so let's rip the old one off. I believe it's right here on the side of the block here. rusty thing there. That's our fuel filter. So we're gonna get that off there and get our new one on. All right, so the fuel filter has been removed. This is your separator, fuel water separator. This tells you if you have water in your fuel. We have to remove that and put it onto our new filter up there. So my recommendations, because I've literally never pulled a fuel filter on a 12 valve Cummins. So initial thing, unplug it first, the water separator, that's easy. And then get yourself a set of oil filter wrench there and wrap it around there. I went underneath the master cylinder here, broke that free, pulled it out, and then came back up through here by your intercooler boot, and then dumped it into this bucket here. So my next thing, we're gonna pull that water separator off, change a couple seals, then we're gonna have to put it back on. We will have to prime the system, so I'm gonna go through on how to do that, and that's essentially gonna fill up our fuel filter so that the truck will run and we can purge all the air out of the system. So let's get to swapping everything over. So our new fuel filter literally comes with everything. All you have to do is replace this O-ring for your fuel water separator with this one here. So that goes and go with that one, and then it also comes with this one. This goes on the other end. So you'll actually reach up into the stud where this screws on and replace this seal up in there. If it didn't come off on the filter, make sure this comes off and replace it so that you don't have any issues there. So we're gonna get all these O-rings swapped over, make sure we get the one up on that stud, and then screw this one back in. All right, so everything is back in. You can see our clean new fuel filter in there. You're gonna wanna make sure that that is nice and tight, as well as your fuel water separator pigtail there. Make sure that that is all nice and tight as well. And the next thing we're gonna have to do is we're actually gonna have to prime the fuel system. So if you guys can look, let's get some light on it. See that white piece right there? There's usually actually a rubber piece over top of that. I actually lost mine, but that's your primer. We're gonna have to pump that by hand. I usually get a broom here, and you can stick it right down into there underneath this brake line that we replace, or over it, no matter. I'll try under it. Get right onto it right there, and then pretty much I guess I'll probably do about 100 pumps of these, and then we'll go ahead and try to start it after 100. That should be plenty, so let's get to doing this. Alright, so I actually had to pump mine quite a bit more than I expected. I probably went about 200 times, and then you could actually feel it all of a sudden. It got really stiff, so we're gonna go ahead and try to start it now. We might have to try this, you know, a couple of different times, but let's hop in the truck. We'll go ahead and give this a shot and see if she starts. This is also a really good time, now that you've pumped it up, to check for fuel leaks, because if you have a fuel leak, you will notice it. After pumping it, it will start to drip. So if we don't, we're gonna try starting. Dadgum key's been on the whole time, so that's good for it. Cycle it. See if she starts. Well, I think she'll go. We'll just give her another time here. It's running a little bit rough, but once it gets that air pushed out of the system, I think we'll be okay. let the truck warm up. We're going to change the oil on it. So I'm going to let it warm up, get that oil a little bit warmer so that it drains easier. And then we're going to get to doing the oil filter and the oil change. Stay tuned. So first things first, guys, before we start changing the oil, this thing needs a name. I have not been able to come up with a name yet for this thing. 360,000 miles, 4x4, red cab, 12 valve. Obviously, it's got rusted. It's a rusted out 12 valve. Give me your guys' ideas. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think we should call this thing. This thing needs, we got the race truck, we got the tow truck, and then what are we gonna call this? Like I said, leave a comment down below. Give me your guys' opinions on names for this thing. For those of you that don't know, your oil filter is located on the passenger side, right by the turbo here. We went ahead and removed our big honking air filter here, and then we're just going to get our filter wrench and pop that loose. We're going to crawl underneath here and get the oil starting to drain. We popped our oil filter, or our oil fill cap off. That way, air goes in as oil comes out. So, let's crawl underneath the truck. We'll get it draining, and then we will come back up top and pull that off. Pull the filter off. Alright, so we're jumping forward a little bit here, guys. We got our oil drained, and we got our new filter on. When tightening that up, it doesn't hurt to just get your plier wrench or your filter wrench on there and just give it a little quick snug. We put oil on our new seal before we put it up in there. Kind of cleaned up a little bit. It is a kind of a messy job on these 12 valves, so that's another reason why I didn't really record a whole lot, So we're going to go ahead and get our air filter back on. Put 12 quarts. This takes 12 quarts with oil drain and filter change. So we're going to put our new oil in there. We are going to be running Valvoline 15W40. Now, I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, "Oh, Cody, what the heck, man? You talk all this mad stuff about Schaeffer's." Well, this truck is a prime example of what not to run Schaeffer's in. This truck has 362,000 miles on it. I have no idea how many oil changes, what type of oil's been running it. If there's been damage that's been done, it's already been done. So at this point, I don't want to make that investment into Schaeffer's, into this particular truck. So we're just going to run our standard Valvoline 1540. You guys saw it. The only one. Cummins. So that's what we're going to be running in the old Dodge. So let's get this air filter back on, and then we're going to start dumping some fresh oil in. Alright, so we got 12 quarts in the truck, so we're going to go ahead and shut the hood, start the truck up, let it warm up for a little bit. We'll pull it outside, make sure it builds pressure, routine. Wait for our wake to start light do its thing. For our oil pressure to come up. So now we know that the oil filter has been filled. We look good everywhere else. We're going to go ahead and pull the truck out. So I'm going to go ahead and let the truck run out there for a little bit, let it warm up, let the oil go through the system for a little while. That's pretty much all I got for you guys tonight. Basically just did some simple maintenance items, really important maintenance items on the truck. Don't forget, guys, leave a comment down below. Give me some ideas about a name for the 12 valve. I have no idea what to call it. So leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, what we should do to it. We got one more really important item to be installing on the 12 valve. Very important item for 12 valves. So hopefully we can get that video in there for you guys as well. One last thing, guys. Let me know in the comments below. You guys watched me rebuild this turbo, this 6.0 Power Stroke turbo. Let me know if you guys think we should do a giveaway. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway for one of my subscribers. One of you guys could win that turbo. So let me know what you guys think about maybe doing that giveaway, if you guys would be interested in that turbo, or if or just give me your thoughts on it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, hit that like button. Hitting the like button is what helps this channel grow. The subscribers have been blowing up lately, so thank you guys so much for all of you that are new to the channel and all of my previous subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Left Lane Diesels. Let's keep this ball rolling. Let's keep the likes. Remember, like this video, leave your comment, give me your opinion. What should we name the 12 valve? Should we give away the turbo? And if you guys are new, subscribe and be a part of Left Lane Diesel. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.